it's intriguing that this is considered a test of faith.
Right.
But faith of what? It seems to me like the story started as a test of obedience, not a test of faith, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of billed as a test of faith. But if anything, it seems to me like this is not a test of any type of faith, but whether or not Abraham is willing to do whatever God tells him to do.
And there's also going to just be things littered in there so that we can read into it. You know, if somebody reads it and says, wow, this God is really bad, we'll be like, oh, no, Abraham knew.
Right.
You know?
That's the feeling to me is like there was a late redaction to the story that is kind of like, no, God wouldn't actually ask anyone to sacrifice their son. Of course that wouldn't happen. But it's interesting to me as well that it is this final test in which God is like, okay, now I know that, you have faith in me and that you're going to do what I need you to do. But how did God not know? Right?
Yeah.
Isn't he supposed to be all knowing, all seeing?
My guess is not yet.
Right. And that's what I feel.
Those traits come along later, I presume, right?
Right.
He gradually gets more power as the books go on.
That's 100% true. He gets more power and he gets more and more removed from humanity.
Right.
Yeah. And that's not just a biblical tradition. That happens all throughout history. God started out as a deity that lived, on the mountaintops. And then he went from the mountaintops to the heavens, and then from the heavens to the high heavens. And then once we discovered that there was no firmament, then they're like, oh, well, he's out in space with the stars. And then once we could explore outer space, we're like, oh, no, he's on a whole different plane of existence.
Yeah, right.
It's like the more we are able to explore and realize God's not there, the more we have to assume that, well, God is in some other location we don't have access to.
Right.
Nevertheless, I don't see this as being necessary to be part of the covenant. God already made a covenant with Abraham.
Right.
Abraham has already agreed to be a party in that covenant. I would have been like, nah, I ain't going to sacrifice my son. We had a covenant. This wasn't part of it. Sorry that you asked me to do something outside of the covenant, but suck it up, God.
Yeah.
The other thing too, and you brought it up before, it seems strange that like the blessing of Abraham is to multiply his descendants. Mm-hmm. Other than the fact that the ancient people practiced a form of ancestor care, meaning they brought provisions to the tombs of their dead ancestors to sustain them in the afterlife. Oh. Other than that, I can see of no way in which this actually benefits Abraham.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's all about their legacy, right? So it benefits him in so much as he thinks it will benefit him.
I had one thought.
Yeah.